All right, while I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to give everybody a quick little lesson on how to lie effectively because apparently some people need to learn. Now, if you want to tell a lie that you can actually get away with, there's the easy way and then there's the hard way. Now, the easy way is that you just have enough relative goodwill and your lie is so innocuous and seemingly harmless that nobody decides to actually fact check you on it. If you want some good examples of this that have happened relatively recently, you can look at, well, I can think of three in just one instance. Number one, if you're the completionist and you're taking a whole bunch of money to give to a charity, and you tell people that you're giving it to the charity, and then you don't, nobody tells and nobody cares until they do. And that's why this is the easy way. But the downside being that the moment someone decides that, hey, something is a little fishy here, the internet autists kick on and they start zooming and enhancing, and next thing you know, your career is pretty much over. And then, of course, following on from that, you have Mudahar telling everybody he's an engineer, which in Canada apparently means a little bit more than just a basic job title. It's something that you actually have to have certified, and it turns out he's not actually that. Again, had a bunch of goodwill. Somebody decided to look into it, and then it's an easy lie to tell until someone actually looks into it. Then, of course, you've got Carl Jobst getting just raked over the coals by Billy Mitchell because he wasn't entirely forward about what the whole lawsuit was. And to be fair, Billy kind of pulled a fast one on him by not suing him over the allegations of him cheating and instead suing him over the allegations of saying that this other guy unsubscribed from Life because of him. And that's how you end up in bankruptcy, apparently, folks. So, and then we'll go to the hard way, which is where you tell a lie that can't be easily falsified, which means you need to be able to think through and be all like, okay, can I be fact checked on this? Like, for example, back in my day, if you wanted to go somewhere that you weren't supposed to, you would tell your parents that you're going to place A that doesn't have video cameras or anyone else that might snitch on you, and then you go to place B, which also doesn't have video cameras or anyone else who's going to snitch on you, and then you come back at the appropriate time and they never know. I mean, that's the kind of lies that even just punk little 17-year-old me who just got his driver's license can figure out. And apparently Hasan can't. Because you have to assume that if you don't have goodwill and you're not telling an innocuous lie, you're trying a positive lie to make people like you, I guess you could say. If you're trying to tell a lie that gets people to stop coming after you for abusing your dog, you're going to have to actually tell a story that's believable, and somebody on the internet with a lot of spare time can't just fact check you on. And the best way to tell if someone is lying in a case like this is if they have to keep telling more lies. And then if they just default back to the original lie they told and pretend like it was just that the entire time, that's how you really know they're lying. And they just expect you to believe it because if enough people say it, now I guess that makes it true, right? Wasn't a shock collar. Okay, well, I just had the shock turned off, or I was just a vibrating one. Or then, she wasn't even wearing the collar at that time, even though we can watch the video and see that he is. Oh, the manufacturer came out and said, yeah, that's a shock collar. Well, then it doesn't even matter. Why would it even matter? The perfectly legitimate tool. And also, I never used a shock collar. And then people, of course, being autistic and on the internet, go back and is like, hey, you were very clearly abusing your former dog, Fish, with the choke chain, and the bloodied up neck, indicating that you used it maybe a little too vigorously. And then you've got him pulling it by the tail in order to take some glamour shot of himself. You have him repeatedly saying on film that he doesn't really take the well-being of animals into consideration. Freaking unthinkable from where I am, but that's maybe just because I'm some genteel, Midwestern boy who grew up with dogs, loved all my dogs, grew up with cats, still miss Snickers, best cat in the world who ever existed. I will fight you if you say otherwise. Although I do love Cleo, and I do love Asta, and I do love Ginger, but that's neither here nor there, right? So anyway, yeah, that's a very quick, easy, dirty lesson on how to tell lies. Make sure nobody can tell you're lying. Because eventually, if they can figure out a way to know that you're lying, why did you even bother telling the lie in the first place?